Have you ever thought modern game design holds your hand and doesn't respect your intelligence as a player? Have you ever wished for more games that feel like playing a Witcher or Monster Hunter, but maybe in a different world or setting? Have you ever wanted another game that rejects the typical high fantasy tropes for something instead more grounded, gritty, and more human? Well, have you heard about Roadwarden? Roadwarden is a text-based RPG that relies heavily on critical thinking, exploration, and decision-making. It's all told in these image text panels. Its art is all landscape and scenery. Its writing is evocative. Its music is amazing. And it really is all about words. It's also one of the best RPGs of the 2010s. And this is the opening scene of the game after you take up the mantle of Roadwarden and leave the southern city for the wilds and villages of the north. I want to get this out of the way first. Roadwarden's gameplay does not at any point look more visually engaging than what you see now. It makes it difficult to create a video review about it. I'm going to do my best instead to splice in footage from other sources that I think is thematically appropriate for what Roadwarden made me feel and for what I imagined and visualized. I still found the static imagery striking and immersive throughout all my time here. There was an aesthetic here that was immersive. The duotone pixel art of landscapes and sceneries and points of interest was just the right amount of frame and fuel for my imagination, without it being too simplistic or reductive to wear on you. Some wished that we could have gotten art and profiles of some of the iconic NPCs, like the old druid, like Orentius the Necromancer, or Thias of Howler's Dell, or even some of the monsters that we face. But I found the omission of people and monsters endearing to my own imagination. It let the characters, in a better way, become more alive, to let you come up with your own depiction of the peninsula. I don't really imagine that this is an easy task of adventure games, and I thought Roadwarden did really well. But what really elevates Roadwarden as an experience, as an aesthetic for me, is its music. Nick Roeder has delivered an excellent minimalist and ambient score that I think strikes the perfect tone for this gritty, dirty atmosphere that's filled with moments of humanity and hope. When talking about video game soundtracks that make you want more of it outside the game, Roadwarden has been one of my favorites in recent years. Each of these tracks brings the world Moral Anxiety Studio has created together, creating a sense of place. Take a listen to one of my favorite tracks here. The story of Roadwarden, at first, is quite simple. You are that titular profession. You are hired by a guild in the southern city of Hovlavin to investigate a region called the Peninsula. It's been abandoned by civilization after some recent war. You have 40 days to make alliances and curry favor among the towns and villages and report back to this guild before the cold season sets in. Layered onto this is that there was a Roadwarden who came before you, Asterion. He's now missing. He never reported back. You, in some way, are picking up his pieces. These are the two initial forces. Curry favor, find Asterion. But you soon become indulged and beset with the plights of each community, the history of the region, the wants and needs of a cast of characters, trying to unearth the past. I didn't see everything in my sort of 1.5 playthroughs, spending about 16 hours with the game. It has meaningful choices, it has great characterization. But ultimately, and what I still think about the most, is the really, really well executed layered plot structure, where you eventually reach this flow state of information of one quest giving you an answer for another quest, which gives you an answer for another quest, and then hints at a point of interest that you had glossed over way back when, and this creates a rich tapestry that I think we all look for in RPGs. I have mentioned in a previous video how my first short playthrough of Roadwarden had the completely wrong approach. I was kind of coming into this with my big old AAA gamer hat on, expecting some yellow signage to tell me what to do, to fill in the blanks for me. I don't need to memorize anything. Surely the text will just sort of generate ideas for itself. I wasn't paying attention to the world, or thinking about connections or hidden meanings, or really keeping track of relationships. But then, one character asked me for a name, for their name, and I got this screen. It asks you to type in the name. I'm like, what? Like, I cannot refer to my dialogue wheel for you to just tell me? That's not the case at all. So my quest from Hovlavin ended poorly. I went back days before I really needed to. I had really not explored anything in hindsight. So I was stripped of my title, my horse, and I died in the wilderness, exiled. So I knew in my second playthrough of Roadwarden that things needed to be different, and I needed to be different. This was a game fundamentally about information. So I chose the scholar, and I, as John the player, became more scholastic too. I got a little notebook, I took notes, I kept track of names and places and curiosities, and such a great knock-on effect to this was also just taking notes about the pros and the world and things that were really interesting. It helped me actually become more immersed. It is hard to articulate how this was so rewarding without spoiling things, because there were so many moments that rewarded this immersive approach about you taking the information, sitting with it, being curious, making connections, making deductions, making inferences. I guessed the right names, told the NPCs the right information. I felt clever and a part of the world in many ways. I will say, even through the end of my second playthrough, there were things I missed. There were quests that I failed. There were things I knew that I didn't do right. I noticed in some areas my notes were more sparse than others. So it speaks to how this game is constantly rewarding your engagement, but it's also so deep that I don't think you can do everything in the 40 days. I think it rewards you coming back to this every year or two and experience the peninsula again, a little bit fresh. There are systems besides critical thinking and information in Roadwarden. There's an economy in the peninsula where dragon bones are the currency of choice. There's some crafting, there's combat, there's a system about hygiene, but I was always a filthy, muddy boy, so I didn't really understand what this did. So if there's any kind of critique about Roadwarden, you could argue that some of its systems are too behind the curtain. And I would have appreciated to occasionally see and understand how some of the situations and conflicts were being resolved through the choices I was making. However, what's crazy is that all of this is at $12.49 Canadian. Roadwarden is a steal. It lit a fire in me as to what RPGs are all about. It's about choice, it's about exploration, it's about rewarding you for paying attention to a world and its characters. Having played through it now twice, or 1.5, I already know that Roadwarden is going to be a game that I just keep coming back to. It's going to join that pantheon of RPGs that I'll never be truly finished with. So I want to end this review with one of my favorite quotes from the loading screen, because to me, I feel it captures the essence of what this world is and why it begs you to explore it. They try to carve the world, yet their memories and tales dwindle. Their shells wither away. Homes and statues turn to dust. The wilderness prevails, as indifferent as time. As with my previous review of Jusant, I want to tack on an extra few minutes of a more spoiler-rich discussion about the moment in Roadwarden that to me brought everything to the next level, and what I thought was an excellent bit of design and narrative. It's about sailing to the northern island. This occurs roughly halfway through a playthrough, and it's this turning point where suddenly you know where you need to go to find the answer of where is Astarion, and it requires assembling a crew. This suddenly shifts your focus and attention away from the Hovlavin quest of helping community leaders to now a very real task of finding skilled individuals in all the right gear, like, for example, a boat. I thought this was such a great twist, because time is a real pressure in the game. And so now you're trying to balance and sequence problems so you can pursue both of these overarching goals. And further spoilers, of course, they're more interconnected. You're also now seeing an extra dimension to your choices that were also previously made in ignorance. If you upset certain individuals before, they're obviously not going to say yes when you ask for their help now. This is unsurprisingly effective, and it made me think about how this is just mashing together the narrative structure of Mass Effect 1 with Mass Effect 2's building a crew. Roadwarden has both now, and you get to ask this beautiful question. Do you help an archer lie to the mayor to get the archer's help to find Astarion? Or do you expose their lie to the mayor to curry favor with that town? What an awesome question to grapple with. And it shows what is really the secret sauce of Roadwarden. It isn't the history or the world building or the factions or the monsters or the landscape. It's about the people. From innkeepers to carpenters, from monks to loners in the woods.